There are 1.8 billion young people in the world today.
Most of us live in lower-income countries.
200 million of us aren't in secondary school.
A lot of us didn't even finish primary school.
There are more of us,
but fewer of us are working.
I couldn't find a job.
I'm not allowed to have one.
These are our generation's problems.
But our generation has the solutions.
And you have the power.
So let's co-create.
Refine.
Scale up.
We need classrooms that are online and on point.
It doesn't stop at literacy or numeracy.
We need new skills too.
Problem-solving skills.
Soft skills.
Math skills.
We can connect every school in the world to the internet.
Swipe right into a career.
Our generation is 25% of the population,
but 100%
of the future.
Generation
unlimited.
I just need to be heard.
Good morning, good afternoon from Lagos, good evening from anywhere, different parts of the world. Thank you so much for joining us in today's GenU event. Thank you for your eagerness and interest to support the GenU Sahel, and most importantly, the Sahelian young persons, our young people. My name is Adebola Williams, and it is indeed my utmost pleasure to be steering this event today alongside my friend Oge.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Celebration. This event today is exciting as it marks the launch of Generation Unlimited in the Sahel. My name is Oge Elumelu. I'm a member of Generation Unlimited Young People's Action Team, as well as co-founder of LSE's Talk Africa and member of the Tony Elumelu Foundation. Generation Unlimited brings together partners from government, multilateral organizations, civil society, the private sector, and most importantly, at its heart, young people from all over the world. This partnership enables the largest generation of young people, that's 1.8 billion, aged 10 to 24, to become productive, engaged members of society.
Okay, did we lose Oge there?
Hello? Yeah.
Okay, Oge, you're back on.
Yeah, I'm back, sorry. So we firmly believe that young people intuitively understand the challenges they face, and especially today's generation, they innately have the ambition to solve it themselves. And we've seen this across the realms of climate change, STEM, and even politics. As you'll see later on, this is especially true in the Sahel region. It's true the power and force of youth, like those you'll see in our interactive panel that will transform the Sahel. This is why Generation Unlimited involves young people in all aspects of how it operates.
Great, thank you, Oge. The Sahel is home to the most vibrant and youthful population, even though the stories in the media might make you think otherwise. And this is key to drive economic growth, create sustainable green economies, and engender peace in the region. Therefore, we will take this opportunity, once again to thank all our stakeholders who are here today for their commitment to GenU Sahel, and to thank them for agreeing to support the young people of the Sahel region. With your support, we will reach 100 million young people by 2030 and support them with learning, entrepreneurship, and civic opportunities. In my almost 20 years of youth engagement, youth development, these are the key areas that we have found that young people continue to play, and if they get the required support on time, can quickly accelerate a future. I also want to take this opportunity to challenge all the stakeholders represented here today, including the Deputy Secretary General, Amina Mohammed, to leverage and complement the strength of their respective institutions in the Sahel and work closely with young people that we are addressing. The most pressing issues facing youth in the Sahel today and in the future will depend on the interventions that you decide to make with your power and your institutional might. We will also have the chance to hear young people's perspective. It is always important that those who we want to shape their future are on the table and we can hear their hearts and their ideas. We want perspectives from the Sahelian youth represented all through this event and speaking about their future, their hopes and their aspiration, we shall hear. We would now like to welcome United Nations Deputy Secretary General, Ms. Amina Mohammed, to respond to the challenge and provide her opening remarks. Over to you.
Good morning all. Bonjour à tous. Thank you for your participation in today's launch of Generation Unlimited Sahel. Millions of people living in the Sahel face insecurity and serious challenges to sustainable development, complicated by this devastating pandemic. We need to act now to improve our own prospects and those of our children and grandchildren. The Sahel is young, with over 64% of people under 25, and more than half are women and girls. This makes Generation Unlimited Sahel an especially important and urgent initiative. The United Nations stands with young people. The ongoing conversations between the United Nations and young people of the Sahel, launched under our integrated strategy for the Sahel, are helping us to understand your priorities and hopes so that we can integrate them into our support for the region. Young people's viewpoints and approaches are essential to making the Sahel peaceful, resilient and prosperous today and tomorrow. The Security Council resolution creating the UN integrated strategy for the Sahel is focused on women and young people, but it remains challenging to make tangible progress towards sustainable development and the SDGs. The Sahel we want is a Sahel at the center of a new and positive narrative. Young people can build this Sahel if given the opportunity. They have already started. GenU is an important platform to unite young people and change the story around the Sahel. On this basis, I officially launched the Generation Unlimited for the Sahel. I call on governments of the Sahel, United Nations entities and development partners to give this initiative your maximum attention and support, so that together with young people, we can build a Sahel of their dreams for today and for future generations. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. Thank you indeed. We cannot wait to see what the young people in Sahel will do. When young people are empowered, when young people have support, they are simply unlimited and unstoppable. So thank you, Madam Deputy Secretary, for those right and on-the-spot words. I'd like now to welcome His Excellency, Mr. Mohamed Bazoum, the President of Niger, to share his remarks on the relevance of education and skilling to equip youth and the role of youth in peace building, stability, and security. Over to you, sir.
Mesdames, Messieurs, l'homme, dit-on, est le capital le plus précieux et investir dans l'éducation, c'est investir dans ce capital. C'est la raison pour laquelle l'éducation est l'une des composantes les plus importantes du programme que j'ai présenté aux Nigériens. Malgré tous les efforts consentis par le pouvoir public durant ces dernières années, les indicateurs en matière d'éducation montrent malheureusement des insuffisances structurelles pour ce secteur clé de notre société. Ces carences peuvent être résorbées par les apports substantiels de nouvelles technologies quant à la consolidation du savoir et de la connaissance. Ils peuvent subséquemment aider à la formation et à l'emploi des jeunes. Au Niger, ce chantier est d'autant plus important qu'une population majoritairement très jeune, 69% des 15 à 24 ans, n'a pas accès à l'éducation, à l'emploi et à la formation. Il faut noter également que 70% de cette frange est constituée de jeunes filles. Cette injustice sociale du genre a motivé l'inscription de l'éducation et l'autonomisation des filles parmi les priorités de ma politique en matière éducative. L'initiative Génération Unlimited ou GenU, lancée en septembre 2018, est une résolution des chefs de gouvernement, dirigeants d'entreprises, responsables des organisations des Nations Unies et des agences multilatérales pour connecter tous les enfants et les jeunes à l'Internet d'ici à 2030. Elle vise à transformer l'éducation, l'emploi et l'esprit d'entreprise des jeunes du monde entier en réunissant les acteurs du secteur privé, du gouvernement, des agences des Nations Unies, de la société civile et des jeunes afin de multiplier les solutions et d'attirer les investissements. Sa variante GenU Sahel permettra, dans le cas de notre pays, de déghettoiser, pour ainsi dire, l'éducation des jeunes filles, en particulier, et de réduire la carence numérique pour les emplois et les initiatives entrepreneuriales en général pour les 500 000 jeunes qui arrivent chaque année sur le marché du travail. Le GenU Sahel est une excellente opportunité pour améliorer la qualité ainsi que le niveau d'accès à l'éducation et à la formation professionnelle. Le Niger, en signant avec la Banque mondiale un accord de financement de 140 millions de dollars en faveur du projet LIRE, se tourne résolument vers l'enseignement et la formation. Mesdames et messieurs, le Niger entend tirer pleinement profit de tous ces projets et initiatives avec l'objectif d'améliorer notablement le niveau et la qualité de l'éducation. Notre pays se fera donc le devoir de diversifier l'offre dans le but de réduire la fracture numérique territoriale et l'inclusion de toutes les catégories de population. Je vous remercie de votre aimable attention.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Thank you indeed. With Africa having the youngest population, top 10 countries being on our continent, and Niger being the top of the 10 with the youngest, people on our continent, I think that this issue couldn't be much more important for any country than Niger, with a median age of about 15 years old. And so thank you for your comment, Mr. President, and we look forward to decisive action, beyond what you said on video. Now, our next speaker is a man who is also very comfortable and popular when it comes to youth development and youth engagement on the continent, Mr. Musa Faki Mahamat, the chairperson of the African Union Commission. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. Thank you so much. I will speak on behalf of Musa Faki Mahamat. Thank you. Excellence, Monsieur Mohamed Bazoum, président de la République du Niger. Excellence, Madame Amina Mohamed, secrétaire générale adjointe des Nations Unies. Mesdames, Messieurs les partenaires, chers jeunes, tout protocole observé. Je voudrais avant tout propos, en cette heureuse occasion, vous adresser les chaleureuses salutations au nom du président de la Commission de l'Union africaine, son Excellence Musa Faki Mahamat, qui aurait bien voulu prendre personnellement part à cette importante rencontre, mais qui, pour des de conflits d'agenda, se trouve dans l'impossibilité de se joindre à vous cet après-midi. Excellences, Mesdames, Messieurs, le lancement du programme Generation Unlimited Sahel, ce jour, qui marque aussi la célébration de la journée de la jeunesse africaine, nous offre l'opportunité de repenser la jeunesse dans tous ses aspects. Cette initiative qui vise à offrir à 100 millions de jeunes à travers le Sahel des opportunités d'emploi, d'entrepreneuriat ayant un impact social d'ici 2030 est vivement à saluer. L'essence de cette initiative fait écho au travail que nous avons accompli dans le cadre du plan d'action africain pour l'autonomisation de la jeunesse 2019-2023 et l'initiative 1 million d'ici 2021 lancée par le président de la Commission, Moussa Faki Mahamat. Alors que nous continuons à construire ensemble, je souhaite rappeler l'engagement commun de l'UNICEF et de la Commission de l'Union africaine à intensifier l'initiative au-delà de l'année en cours. Ces deux organisations se sont engagées à tirer parti de leur partenariat en s'efforçant d'offrir des opportunités à plus de 10 millions de jeunes d'ici 2021 et à 30 millions d'ici 2030. Ce partenariat exemplaire à tous égards doit servir de modèle à l'effet de fédérer les synergies autour de la problématique de la jeunesse. Tout en appréciant les efforts continus des Nations Unies, je voudrais, au nom de la Commission de l'Union africaine, exprimer notre gratitude à Mme Amina Mohamed, ici présente, pour son engagement constant à la cause de la jeunesse. Excellences, Mesdames et Messieurs, l'espace Sahel se caractérise par des vulnérabilités naturelles et des conflits de tout genre, dont les premières victimes, après les femmes, sont les jeunes. Happés à différents niveaux de leur vie par des îles terroristes, l'analphabétisme, la migration, le climat et ses impacts comme la désertification, la sécheresse. Je suis heureux de noter que la COP26 se tient en ce moment même où nous nous parlons de la jeunesse dans l'espace Sahel, doit pleinement participer, en parlant de la jeunesse, à la définition de son rôle dans cet espace. Pour nous, des domaines prioritaires doivent sous-tendre notre action commune. Quand je dis action commune, c'est accélérer l'appropriation au niveau national et engager les acteurs aussi bien du secteur public que privé sur la cause. Renforcer les capacités des jeunes eux-mêmes à travers les opportunités d'emploi et soutenir le programme des corps des jeunes volontaires que nous avons à l'Union africaine. Mobiliser davantage de ressources pour des projets innovants dans le domaine des TIC où les jeunes excellent, mais également dans le domaine de l'agriculture. Le programme Génération Sahel complétera, et j'en suis sûr, l'excellent travail déjà engagé par les dirigeants de la région. Vous me permettrez ici de reconnaître et pour m'en féliciter les efforts importants de son Excellence le président Mohamed Bazoum aux côtés de ses pairs de la région dans la recherche des solutions adaptées aux problématiques de la jeunesse dans le Sahel. Je souligne qu'il aura à accueillir dans les jours à venir un sommet sur la jeune fille. Monsieur le Président, soyez-en remerciés tout au fond de notre cœur au sein de la Commission de l'Union africaine. Pour finir, je voudrais à ce stade rappeler l'engagement du président de la Commission de l'Union africaine qui, depuis 2018, a établi dans son cabinet un bureau de l'envoyé spécial pour la jeunesse. Aujourd'hui même, Mademoiselle Chido Cléopâtre vient d'être nommée nouvelle envoyée pour la jeunesse en remplacement de Madame Haya Chebi, qui a achevé son mandat avec un brio inégalé et à qui nous rendons vivement hommage. En souhaitant plein succès à ce programme que vous venez de lancer, Madame Amina et le président Bazoum, je voudrais renouveler l'engagement de la Commission de l'Union africaine à vous accompagner et à accompagner la jeunesse africaine pour le devenir du continent, pour l'Afrique que nous voulons. Je vous remercie pour votre aimable attention.
Thank you very much for those comments. In 2019, I joined the AU chair amongst other leaders to launch the 1 million by 2021. And though COVID has tried to stall that a bit, there is still, a huge opportunity to, amongst the many projects that the AU has embarked on, to also work with the Sahelian youth on indeed, achieving that mandate to make young people on the continent truly, truly unlimited. We commend the African Union for all the great work that it continues to do in being an ally for young people. And it is indeed my pleasure, because I remember that my dear sister, Jackie, Jayat Ma, forgive me, Jayat Ma, was also at that event, to launch a kickstart the AU 2021 by 1 million by 2021. And so I would now like to welcome Ms. Jayat Ma, who is the UN Secretary General's envoy on youth, to highlight the importance of a unified agenda. We have several of these programs across different regions, across different institutions, all focused on young people. But it is important that there is cohesion and unity. And so she will be telling us about the importance of leveraging these partnerships to reach the greatest impact at scale for youth in the Sahel. Over to you, Jayat Ma.
Thank you very much, Debola. Good morning from New York, and good afternoon, good evening to everyone watching us online from everywhere in the world. Happy Africa Youth Day to the young people of Africa who are joining us today, which I'm sure with great enthusiasm to celebrate the Youth Day, but also the launch of the GenU Sahel program. I wanted to congratulate the African Union chairperson for nominating his second envoy on youth this morning, Ms. Chido Mpemba of Zimbabwe, whom I welcome very much to our partnership, and I'm sure she will be a key actor for us in advancing GenU Sahel, but also the continental framework for youth development, 1 million by 2021, as Adebola mentioned before as well. Congratulations, Chido, and we really look forward to working with you in the coming years and supporting you also in your role to mobilize and empower the African youth across the continent. It's such a pleasure to be with all of you here today, this morning, to celebrate the important milestone launch of GenU Sahel. Since the launch of GenU in 2018, the initiative, the collective initiative of UN entities, but I think most importantly, as Kevin says, this partnership between public, private, and youth tripartite partnership has been growing since its launch, and now to see an episode of this really translating into concrete action in the Sahel is a true pleasure to witness at its launch. So I want to really thank GenU, Kevin and the team, but also the special coordinator for the Sahel, Ma, for taking this initiative and showing leadership, and also inviting us to be a constant partner with you in this work. As you know, today's generation of young people is the largest ever in the history of our planet, 1.8 billion young people in the world today. And the Sahel is one of the most youthful regions globally, with around 64% of the population under the age of 25. So being a young person today really is the best of the times to be a young person, and also it's one of the worst of the times to be a young person, because it comes with unique and unprecedented challenges and opportunities at the same time. On the one hand, young people of today are the most interconnected and most educated generation of young people ever. And on the other hand, young people are also disproportionately affected by the impacts of simultaneous and multifaceted crises, including the COVID-19 crisis that the DSG mentioned before, the climate crisis, rising inequalities, conflicts, and humanitarian issues around the world. The most affected by these disproportionate impacts are also the most vulnerable and marginalized young people. I know that the GenU Sahel looks specifically into the groups of young people who are vulnerable to these shocks that we see outside, but I think it's very important to keep in mind that young women and girls have to be in the forefront so they do not get left behind. Young people living with disabilities, young refugees, young migrants, indigenous young people, and young people who have been systematically excluded from systems have to be consciously included, I think, for us, for the program to be successful, not just in the Sahel, but really around the world. As also stated in the Our Common Agenda report that the UN Secretary General recently launched, which looks at the future of the UN and the future of multilateralism, the Secretary General acknowledges that we are at an inflection point in history. So more than ever before, our action or inaction today will determine if we break down or break through the current crises that we are facing as a collective of humanity. So young people, again, are also the most impacted, but they're also the most resourceful in times of crisis. They hold answers, they hold innovation, they hold creativity, they hold energy, passion, and the idealism that is really needed for us today to find long-term solutions, or rather new solutions to old problems, if I can put it that way. So this is why engaging young people in all their diversity from the inception of these programs to their end and the follow-up is critically important. So I want to, in wrap up, offer today also the UN's Youth Strategy, Youth 2030, as a tool to GenU Sahel to advance the implementation of the program. This is a framework that is implemented by all of our UN country teams, including the ones in the Sahel. We have a very robust monitoring and evaluation framework through a scorecard. So you're very welcome to really align your efforts with those, to also measure the impact of the program through some of these data that we are receiving from the country teams in the region and beyond. GenU Sahel aims to connect 100 million Sahelian youth, 50% of whom are young women, with opportunities to contribute to peace and security and economic growth by the end of 2030. And this really is in line with what we want to achieve through the Sustainable Development Goals, through the Youth Strategy, and the other continental frameworks, so yeah, like the AU Youth Charter that Adebola mentioned earlier. So really, I'm here to offer my full support and full support of the Secretary General for GenU Sahel, and please do count on us as partners, and wishing all the best to everyone involved.
Thank you. Thank you very much. That indeed, Jayatma, is the point of this conversation, inclusion. We must have the courage to listen to what is different. And it is no longer just about political correctness, but the sincerity to really move the continent's most important resource and generation forward. If we need to build an Africa that we truly dream of, we would need the energy and the innovation of youth, of course, as well as the experience and the wisdom of the older ones. And so please let us just know that inclusion is at the heart of this conversation. That is when we really begin to put action to words. Thank you very much. It is now time to introduce a very dear figure in Nigeria and across the continent who has been a bridge for young people, who has given wings to many dreams, who has been a light on many paths for the African youth. A man amongst men, Mr. Tony Elumelu, who is the chairman of the UBA Group and founder of the remarkable Tony Elumelu Foundation. He will stress the importance of entrepreneurship in advancing young people's social and economic prosperity, while at the same time accelerating economic development for our countries and our continent. Over to you, sir.
Good afternoon, all. And our young host, the Tioiga, Tamara Oge Elumelu, and my dear friend, Debola Williams. We are very proud of you, African Products. At the Tony Elumelu Foundation, the leading philanthropy, empowering thousands of young Africans from all 54 African countries. We are immensely proud to be co-implementers and grassroots galvanizers for this critical GenU Sahel program. Through the Tony Elumelu Foundation TF Connect platform, we have trained 1.5 million young Africans across the continent through our annual Tony Elmelu Foundation Entrepreneurship Program, which provides $5,000 non-refundable seed capital per beneficiary, business training, and mentorship for young entrepreneurs to scale their enterprises. We have funded 10,898 entrepreneurs across Africa. These young African entrepreneurs have gone on to create further 400,000 direct and indirect jobs across the continent. In 2019, we partnered with the United Nations Development Program, UNDP, to identify, train, mentor, and fund 2,100 young entrepreneurs in the Sahel region. And these include Northern Nigeria, Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger, Chad, Cameroon, and Mauritania. Again, in 2020, last year, it hit all the pandemic. We partnered with UNDP to fund and train 1,860 young Malians who face the triple threat of conflict, insecurity, and poverty, as well as loss of livelihoods from climate change. Through our intervention, we were able to create small businesses and generate economic hope in the youth, channeling their creativity and skills to transform the Sahel region. More than 2 million people in this region have been forced to flee their homes, with millions more losing their sources of livelihoods. Resources are scarce and opportunities are limited, leading to even more tensions and conflict between communities in the Sahel region. A collective effort is needed. It's needed to find a lasting solution to this intractable crisis. Empowering and investing in our people, especially our young ones in the Sahel, to give them economic hope and opportunity is the only solution. This is what we believe in at the Tony Elmelu Foundation. And we're happy that global partners are also buying into this vision. We're proud of the achievements we have made so far in this region with the United Nations Development Program. As I have always said, poverty anywhere is a threat to all of us everywhere. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm honored, pleased, and happy that this day has come. I look forward to an impactful partnership. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Lumelu, for highlighting the importance of entrepreneurship to youth in the Sahel, especially as Generation Unlimited is all about public-private partnerships. It's great to hear what you're doing with the young Africans. And yes, in case you are wondering, we have the same surname because this is my dad. So it is now my pleasure to introduce to you Mr. Victory Ashaka, a poet and youth advocate who will read a self-composed poem.
Victory Ashoka is my name. I am a spoken word poet and advocate of SDGs and a climate activist. I am so happy and delighted to join this event organized by UNICEF Generation Unlimited and the Office of the United Nations Special Coordinator for the Sahel, so as to inspire other Sahelian youth to promote peace, stability and prosperity for sustainability in our society at large. The poem chosen for this occasion is Promoting Peace to Counter Extremism. This poem was inspired by the need for mentoring engineering to encourage young people to act for change and believe in their dream for a better future, by having that unity of mind and purpose to believe in the ties that bind the human spirit for peace, stability, prosperity in our society. There is a place I know that sprawls with islands, rock-strewn lands, hills and sandbars. A place perceived as the heartbeat of the semi-arid Western and North Central Africa, pumping with energy, jaw-dropping cultural artifacts and adorable craftworks that make people marvel. A place where buried treasures are unraveled in the form of vibrant young people like the new bud of May and beacon of hope for a flourishing future. A place called Sahel, the epicenter of cultural transition. If there is no freedom to reach for the stars, if there is no courage to dare to discover, if there is no system to fulfill desire, virtuous youth have got no platform but to hide, then such society is hinged on appetite. No one is born a violent extremist. They are made and fueled against the ties that bind the human spirit. But from this day should the offspring of this hour always take harmony into the presence of hostility, which is the true goal of authenticity. To sprout like the olive trees of savannah, to rise like the north coastal band of hills, that deserted areas of Sahel may flourish with virtues released from the mind's forged manacles. The power of youth is the strength of a thriving nation. To form a coalition of togetherness for dreamers, on this platform rising as fearless redeemers, to restore the hope of past heroes jaded by extremism. Let peace and love fizzle out war and hate, leveling the bars of young stars to come alive as active participants in conversations about the future. Let's take giant strides from the scarps of degradation towards the expectant cliff of transformation. We do not need to look for light in the midday darkness. We are the sun able to shine out of obscurity. Every nation that disregards the strength of the young cannot thrive without innovation for long. Never should the dreams of the young be slain on the altar of inaccessibility that erupts from insecurity. It is time to conquer the fears in our eyes and rise to uphold learning tools, not to be fooled by mediocrity through right infrastructure in terms of connectivity. Also, to get injected and fired up in our bone marrows with employability skills for tomorrow. Even as we watch right before our eyes, we've got the right for policymakers to be at our beck and call in order to navigate the world of information. The Generation Z is unlimited in this jet age by new opportunities and innovations fully fledged, to vanquish the insurrection of the wicked that whet their tongues with swords of hateful words spewed like bowling arrows piercing inwards. Together, let's level the walls of a distorted interpretation of culture for this dialogue to linger into the future of this generation unlimited by time and space, to close the divide and bridge the social gap of fears that our future may not disappear.
Thank you to Mr. Shaka for your poem on the countering of extremism. It was very inspiring. And we'll now see a video from His Excellency, the Prime Minister De Croo of Belgium, on the need for massive scale-ups of digital skilling opportunities for youth, as well as the importance of supporting and incubating youth-led ideas and initiatives.
Je me réjouis du lancement aujourd'hui de la plateforme GenU Sahel au bénéfice des jeunes de la région. La Belgique promeut activement la paix, la stabilité et la prospérité au Sahel. Nous déployons les efforts conjoints de notre diplomatie, notre coopération au développement, notre aide humanitaire et notre défense. Mais nous savons que la résilience et le développement du Sahel viendront de ses propres populations, et plus spécifiquement de sa jeunesse. La jeunesse sahélienne est la principale force vive. Elle est porteuse d'amélioration et de changement. Parmi les nombreux défis de la jeunesse, deux nous semblent primordiaux. Premièrement, renforcement des systèmes éducatifs, de l'éducation de base à la formation professionnelle, pour accompagner les jeunes vers l'emploi. Deuxièmement, adresser les déficits de gouvernance et de représentation politique de la jeunesse, qui aggravent leur exclusion et entraînent une rupture de la confiance en l'État. C'est pourquoi la Belgique s'est engagée à davantage appuyer la jeunesse comme vecteur de changement au Sahel. Au Burkina Faso et au Niger, par exemple, nous mettons l'accent sur le renforcement de la résilience des jeunes femmes et hommes par le développement d'opportunités économiques et le développement d'accès aux responsabilités en matière de gouvernance. Au Mali, la Belgique a travaillé en partenariat avec l'École nationale d'administration pour renforcer les capacités des étudiants qui seront nombreux à participer plus tard à la vie politique du pays et de la région. Nous ambitionnons un partenariat similaire avec le Niger. Le secteur privé a également son rôle à jouer avec la jeunesse, notamment dans le domaine digital. En Belgique, le campus digital B-Central a développé une expérience unique dans la formation numérique des jeunes par des jeunes. Des synergies sont recherchées avec GenU pour transposer certaines idées au Sahel. Je formule le vœu que Generation Unlimited Sahel permettra de renforcer encore cette jeunesse porteuse d'espoir et de changement. Rejoignez GenU Sahel.
On peut soutenir le développement de Sahel en créant des synergies d'action, en créant des ponts entre nous et surtout en créant des espaces qui permettent des idées innovantes, apportant ou contribuant à une solution concrète de développement, de prendre forme, mais au-delà de prendre forme, d'être une solution concrète à un problème de la vie.
Thank you, Your Excellency, Mr. Prime Minister, and thank you for Belgium's interest in the Sahelian region. I love how you mentioned that you realize fundamentally it's the young people themselves that must be at the forefront of the development of the region, and that Belgium is happy to help and partner with the region. So thank you very much. I'd now like to introduce Ms. Henrietta Ford, the Executive Director of UNICEF, with her message of support for the launch of Generation Unlimited Sahel.
Today, we are launching an incredibly important initiative, the Sahel Generation Unlimited, a leap for Sahel youth that aims to connect 100 million youth across the Sahel with employment, entrepreneurial, and social impact opportunities. Achieving this critical and ambitious objective is possible through a strong coalition of partners, willing and able to create positive change at massive scale. This initiative leverages the strength of a public-private youth partnership, Generation Unlimited, and mobilizes regional leaders across all sectors to join in support. Across the Sahel, many adolescents do not finish secondary school, while even fewer progress to university. Even those who do get to a university or college can end up unemployed because their skills do not match the job market. And the socioeconomic consequences of the COVID-19 pandemic are making the situation worse. GenU will help tackle these problems. It is designed to forge new methods for aligning, amplifying, and multiplying efforts with and for youth in an innovative partnership. This work is supported through programs like Youth Connect, a platform which connects youth to their role models, peers, resources, and technologies, and YOMA, the African Youth Marketplace, which serves as an innovative ecosystem of support for the advancement of youth, and of course, the Passport to Earning, which provides young people with access to world-class skill building for the future of work. I want to thank the Deputy Secretary General of the United Nations, the Secretary General's United Nations Special Coordinator for the Sahel, GenU, and our partners for prioritizing support and opportunities for the region's youth. Thank you especially to the young people joining us today for their leadership in creating solutions for their generation and beyond. What we are seeing happen here in the Sahel region is a blueprint for the entire continent and the rest of the world. We all have a stake in the success of the world's youth, so let us keep up the momentum. So with that, I am pleased to introduce Sadio Mané, an incredible and inspiring Senegalese footballer who will give us a few moments of motivation to push this initiative forward together with young people. Sadio, over to you.
I am Sadio Mane, a Senegalese football player. I play for Liverpool FC. Also, I'm a proud ambassador for Right to Play. Today we come together because the new generation Unlimited launch and the future of Sahel is their young people. All they need is an opportunity. I know how hard it is to grow up without opportunities. Please join us to partner with the youth across the Sahel and build a better future. Thank you and stay healthy.
Thank you, Executive Director and Mr. Mane, for those inspiring words of support. I'd now like to introduce us to Ashim Steiner, the UNDP Administrator, giving us his remarks on the importance of civic engagement and specifically youth as a change maker, as well as the presence of the UNDP Accelerator Labs in the Sahel region and how they contribute to incubating youth-led ideas. So we'll get to Mr. Steiner shortly after the following video.
In the Sahel, we cannot talk about the future of development without talking about young people. Therefore, empowering youth is a UNDP priority. For UNDP, it's an imperative in our strategic plan, a priority of our strategic offer for Africa, and a key pillar of our Sahel offer. 65% of the Sahelians are less than 25 years old, with as much energy, talent, and drive as can be found anywhere in the world. Investing in their potential is key to unleashing massive transformation in the region. How do we work with the youth? By creating entrepreneurship opportunities, we invest in young Sahelians as they are indeed the engine of economic growth. Young men and women do have solutions to further economic development. In partnership with the Tony Elumelu Foundation, we have established a youth empowerment initiative to support 100,000 entrepreneurs across Africa over the next 10 years. We have also set up Youth Connect Sahel to empower and connect youth across all 10 Sahelian countries, namely Burkina Faso, Cameroon, Chad, the Gambia, Guinea, Mali, Mauritania, Niger, Nigeria, and Senegal. In partnership with Generation Unlimited, we are connecting over 3,000 young Sahelians at the Youth Connect Sahel Forum in Dakar from 30 November till 2 December. In this dispensation, we are maximizing the power of social media and the virtual space. This will be the biggest youth conference in the region to connect young Sahelians to opportunities for skills development, greater employability, and promote homegrown solutions. Our Youth Eco Brigade initiative in the Gambia, Niger, and Nigeria has mobilized over 150,000 young people, making a difference in climate resilience, ecology, and reforestation as our contribution to the African Union's Great Green Wall initiative. Since 2020, with the United Nations Volunteer Program administered by UNDP, 2,000 youth volunteers have been deployed to Sahel countries to support peace and development efforts. Through volunteerism and civic engagement, young Sahelians are better positioned to effect change in their communities as empowered citizens and leaders. Youth empowerment and participation in political and socio-economic spheres is central to the stability and long-term development of the Sahel. In conflict settings, UNDP works with young people to stabilize fragile areas, provide livelihood opportunities, and rebuild essential infrastructure. Young people are also a driving force to building community cohesion. Peace committees, backed by stabilization facilities, give people the confidence to return to their places of origin. Join us in empowering young men and women to create a sustainable and prosperous future for the people of the Sahel.
UN Deputy Secretary General Amina Mohammed, Executive Director of UNICEF Henrietta Fore, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. It is a privilege to join the launch of this exciting new initiative by Generation Unlimited entitled A Leap for Sahel Youth. It is an ambitious program that aims to empower and connect 100 million young people in the Sahel with new opportunities to contribute to peace, security, and economic development. And GenU, a global partnership steered by UNICEF, aims to ensure that every young person across the world is engaged in learning, training, or employment by the year 2030. At the United Nations Development Programme, our long-term investment in the young people of the Sahel will complement GenU's new efforts. That includes our collaboration with the African Union on the Youth Connect Africa initiative. It is helping young people in the spirit of GenU to roll out local development solutions and shape the futures that they want. This November, UNDP and our partners will launch the Youth Connect initiative for the Sahel, providing young people with new training and financing opportunities, and indeed enable us to help them help themselves. Or look to UNDP's partnership with the Tony Elumelu Foundation to implement the Sahel Youth Entrepreneurship Program. It aims to train, mentor, and financially support 100,000 young entrepreneurs in the region. Moreover, UNDP's new regional project for youth empowerment in the Sahel will boost skills in key areas like entrepreneurship and digital technology. All of this support will ensure that young people are equipped with the knowledge and expertise that they need for the jobs today and of the future, in the spirit of GenU. At UNDP, we're also mobilizing 10 million young people through the Sahel Youth Eco Brigades initiative. It aims to plant 10 billion trees over the next decade, part of wider efforts to build a green economy and spur new climate action. Indeed, the entire United Nations family is committed to supporting young people as they hold the key to unlocking transformative development in the Sahel. With the global goals serving as our North Star, we invite new partners to co-invest in the pioneering efforts of Sahelians, the United Nations and our partners, as we regenerate the Sahel together. And together we are helping to shape a peaceful, more inclusive, and more sustainable future for the people who call it home. Thank you.
Thank you to the UNDP Accelerator Labs for the very informative video. It's so interesting to hear that 65% of Sahelians are less than 25 years old. And it's also very exciting because it shows that clearly there's so much potential for the Sahelian region to really mobilize and utilize the youth. And thank you to Mr. Steiner for your important words of support. It's very exciting to hear UNDP's plans for the Sahelian region, and it's great to hear the running theme of youth empowerment and self-sustainability that it has in mind for young people. We'll now be joined by Ms. Susan Makisiak, the CEO of Right to Play International, to provide remarks for opportunities related to skilling for early childhood education and sports.
Thank you so much, and greetings to all. I am very happy to be here with you today to celebrate the power and potential of youth in the Sahel and the launch of Generation Unlimited Sahel. Right to Play is an international NGO based in Toronto, Canada, working in 22 countries around the world. We use the transformative power of play to support children to claim their rights, protect themselves from harm, stay in school and graduate, and become forces for change. As you well know, youth in the Sahel are already forces for change. We see it every day in our work. In Mali, girls and boys are resisting child labor, fighting for their right to go to school, and graduating with big hopes and even bigger dreams that cannot be denied. In Senegal, where we are launching a program that uses sport to promote empowerment and leadership skills in adolescent girls, young women are already leading the way towards a more equal future. Everywhere we look, there is a youth population bursting with energy, creativity, and innovative spirit. These youth will lead the region and indeed the world towards unprecedented success in the years to come. At Right to Play, we see our role as removing obstacles, unlocking opportunities for children and youth to grasp success. The obstacles youth face are significant. Gender inequality, extremism, poverty, displacement. These are just some of the enormous challenges that have kept too many youth from their dreams for too long. Like you, Right to Play is wholly committed to supporting youth to acquire the holistic skills they need to thrive in today's fast-changing world and create a future for themselves that is indeed unlimited. I am inspired to think of the great things Sahelian youth will be able to accomplish with the support of the people and organizations in this big virtual room. I'd like to take a moment to recognize Mar. You have taken on a huge task, a daunting effort to make a difference, not only to the youth of the Sahel, but to the region, as their youth are indeed their future. I congratulate and commend you on your ambitious goals. Kevin Frey, thank you for inviting Right to Play into this important work. I look forward to collaborating with Generation Unlimited to equip more Sahelian children and youth with the skills, knowledge, and confidence they need to reach their dreams and transform our world for the better. And most especially, I thank the Sahelian youth in whom we hope and trust to build a better world. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. McIsaac. I come from a family of 5 daughters, and so I find it very inspiring that your aim is to help adolescent young girls and women and to empower them alongside Generation Unlimited. So thank you very much. This now ends the first segment of the launch event, and we're excited to return after a short musical interlude. This should be starting shortly.
I'm really happy to perform for you today at the Generation Unlimited Sahel event. Salut, je m'appelle Kialoum, je suis une artiste du Sénégal et aujourd'hui je suis très contente de chanter pour vous. Alors pour commencer, je vais vous chanter ma chanson qui s'appelle Yobale, qui parle des enfants de la rue. C'est l'enfant qui dit à sa mère, ne me laisse pas ici, parce que ici il y a de la douleur, alors que la place des enfants est dans la rue. Salut, je m'appelle Kialoum, je suis une artiste du Sénégal et aujourd'hui je suis très contente de chanter pour vous. Alors pour commencer,
Welcome back, and thank you for that brilliant, brilliant performance. Music continues to be a tool. Entertainment and pop culture continues to be a tool for this generation. And Oge, you have done a fantastic job steering the other half of this conversation. Thank you very much. As mentioned, Generation Unlimited is a public-private youth partnership, and the next segment of our event today will allow us to hear directly from young people. When we talk about collaboration, when we talk about co-creating the future, we always in GenU have those whose future we want to design at the table. Through a series of videos and an interactive panel, we would hear from young people. These young change makers, these trailblazers, ceiling crashers, who are on this continent, despite all the numerous challenges, creating a better future for themselves, drawing blueprints that are both innovative and inspiring. A relentless generation, action-oriented, and has time again and again, proven that they are not afraid to share their thoughts before any audience. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now my honor to introduce Professor Emanuela C. Delarue, the EU Special Representative for the Sahel, to go first. Professor Emanuela? And if Professor Emanuela is not queued, maybe we can go ahead and have Miss Ojambo, who is the UN Global Compact, who's the CEO of UN Global Compact. If we do not have Professor
Ladies
Emanuela.
and gentlemen, it's such an honor to speak at this auspicious event as Generation Unlimited launches GenU Sahel. Thank you so much for the invitation. With an estimated 60% of the continent's 1.25 billion people under the age of 25, Africa has the youngest population in the world. We must capitalize on this demographic dividend to help young people claim their rightful position at the forefront of economic and social progress globally. I congratulate GenU for the launch of your Sahel office. Your unwavering commitment to expand education, training, and employment opportunities for young people is truly inspiring. At the UN Global Compact, we support your ambition to empower 10 million young people in the Sahel by 2030. With more than 13,000 companies and 3,000 non-business signatories based in over 160 countries and 69 local networks, the UN Global Compact is the world's largest corporate sustainability initiative. We continue to expand, building business partnerships for a better world. Without strong partnerships, we cannot achieve the SDGs. GenU is a multi-stakeholder partnership that mobilizes to connect youth with opportunities for economic development and social impact. Similarly, the Global Compact spearheads private sector contributions to sustainable development through our principle-based approach by committing to our 10 principles, and our partners drive conscious capitalism, corporate sustainability, and responsible business practices towards the Sustainable Development Goals. Recently, we had the pleasure of collaborating with GenU on the launch of our Africa strategy, which tailors the mission of the Global Compact to the reality of the business landscape in Africa. 3 strategic objectives will guide our work in Africa through 2023. Focus, inclusion, and leveraging on the influence of economic drivers for sustainability. We will focus on the issues and programs most relevant to African companies and encourage leading Pan-African and national companies to use their strengths to drive sustainability action across their value chains. Joining forces to mobilize the small and medium enterprise subsector is a logical way to benefit young people in the Sahel and indeed across Africa. According to the World Bank, SMEs represent 90% of the world economy and 50% of employment worldwide. Future collaboration with GenU will open up opportunities for socially conscious, climate-aware, and productive young people to enter a working life with a mindset that encompasses people, planet, and profit outcomes. And that will move us towards the Africa we want, while leaving no one behind. Thank you.
Quelle est ma vision du Sahel de demain? Un Sahel industriellement développé, mais soucieux de son environnement, énergétiquement indépendant et enclin à utiliser et développer les nouvelles technologies.
C'est aussi de voir une jeunesse très active, dynamique, qui, au lieu de mourir dans les océans à la recherche de l'Eldorado, préfère générer des revenus pour mettre en place des innovations techniques et technologiques.
Je suis optimiste que les jeunes du Sahel sont les mieux placés pour connaître les défis et les enjeux au Sahel. Les activités que les jeunes mènent à travers le Sahel sont innovantes et inspirantes pour les générations futures.
Thank you very much, Ms. Sanda Ojiambo, CEO, UN Global Compact. Very spot-on remarks. I would now like to introduce Ms. Cynthia Samuel Olonjuwon, Assistant Director and Regional Director for Africa of ILO. Ms. Samuel Olonjuwon will highlight the importance of decent jobs for young people on the continent. And she has to tell me if I pronounced that name correctly, because we're from the same part of the country, I can imagine.
Thank you very much, Adebola. The name is Samuel Olonjuwon, but you tried very well.
Okay, noted.
Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, youth leaders. On behalf of the ILO and our Director General, I congratulate UNICEF for the progress made in the Generation Unlimited partnership. I also congratulate USG Mardia for the special Sahel initiative. What's our starting point today? Far too many young women and men across the Sahel lack access to decent work. Working poverty is widespread and informal employment is the norm, affecting more than 95% of young workers in the Sahel countries. Against this challenging background, COVID-19 had a devastating impact on job opportunities for young people. Recent ILO estimates show that the pandemic created a gap of 17 million jobs in Africa. Youth in the Sahel are the most vulnerable, especially women. However, and this is a big however, the Sahel is also home to very energetic, innovative, and dynamic young women and men who constitute more than 65% of the population under 25 years. Great asset in terms of the current work world and the future of work. The ILO considers creating decent jobs, fostering the skills, rights, and voices of young people in Africa as a shared responsibility. The ILO's rich and growing Sahel portfolio is focused on creating decent work opportunities through innovative interventions that foster employability, support formalization, improve the business and entrepreneurial climate, promote the rural economy, and strengthen active labor market programs. I am delighted to say that we have achieved substantive results in collaboration with committed partners. Together, we must achieve the scale and impact needed to ensure a prosperous Sahel. Governments need to shape the environment for job-rich growth and to invest in sectors that drive digital and environmental transitions. We must also harness a stronger private sector that invests in people, offers good working conditions, and access to social protection. Partnership is indeed crucial for scale-up results. The Global Initiative on Decent Jobs for Youth is our partnership platform for employment for engagement and action on youth employment. Similarly, we have launched in Africa a joint program together with the ITU and the African Union to boost youth employment in Africa's digital economy. These initiatives, along with the several other initiatives that we have in almost all the countries in Africa, offer great potential for systemic change and impact with and for young people. This is a very short synopsis of the ILO in action and its value proposition in the Sahel region. We're delighted to work with you to realize our joint vision of an Africa where every young person has access to decent work. Thank you very much for your attention. And thanks, Debola.
Thank you very much, Ms. Samuel Olojunwo. I hope I pronounced it okay. It's great to hear that the ILO has started achieving their aims, but that partnership once again is needed for the most successful change and impact for young Sahelians. And it's now a pleasure to introduce Ms. Argentina Matavel, the Regional Director of West and Central Africa Regional Office for UNFPA, who will highlight an extremely important focus on GenU Sahel, that girls and young women's empowerment and the efforts to skill them are very important.
Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished panelists, it is my distinguished privilege to address this august gathering today on behalf of the Executive Director of UNFPA, Dr. Natalia Kanem. We applaud the launch of Generation Unlimited Sahel as a testimony to our collective consciousness of young people as holding the key to the success of our goals. For UNFPA, the movement for youth started back in 1994 at the International Conference on Population and Development, when 193 member states recognized the importance of access to sexual and reproductive health, information, and services as unlocking the full potential of young people, especially for girls. A girl's full education and knowledge of and control over her body is an enabler to her development. Only when she can decide if, when, with whom to marry, and or have children can she complete her education, secure gainful employment, and fulfill her dreams. To give substance to this ambition, UNFPA, in collaboration with the World Bank, the West Africa Health Organization, and the African Union, has been implementing the Sahel Women's Empowerment and Demographic Dividend, the SWED initiative. Launched in 2013, SWED is a response to Sahelian nations' demographic challenges, rising unemployment, and gender inequality. The project covers 9 countries, and its results are attracting others. SWED aims to strengthen girls' and young women's life skills, support education, school retention, and economic empowerment. Almost 300,000 adolescent girls at risk of dropping out were kept in school. Over 3,000 safe spaces for girls were established, offering an integrated package of services from education, literacy, health services, family planning, and vocational training. It provides credits and productive assets subsidies, which contribute to the creation of jobs. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, it is imperative that such successful interventions as the SWED that offer concrete and proven solutions be scaled up to trigger that leap for the millions of youth. We need to do more, and urgently, to halt the downward trend. UNFPA is a willing partner to GenU and to all initiatives that put young people first, as our social media hashtag aptly puts it. Investment and inclusion of young people, particularly girls, is the only way.
Je suis convaincue que la jeunesse de la population du Sahel reste son levier de développement le plus prometteur. Il s'agit de s'impliquer dans les actions de développement, mais il faut comprendre qu'il ne suffit pas de copier un modèle de développement de pays qui ont un siècle, voire deux d'avance sur nous. Il faut comprendre les réalités et les conditions de notre environnement et trouver une formule de développement qui y est adaptée. Les secteurs clés sont l'entrepreneuriat, le développement des actions de volontariat, la politique, la technologie, mais je reste convaincue que la science est un élément crucial et indispensable au développement du Sahel. Les jeunes chercheurs seront en mesure de trouver des solutions durables aux problèmes auxquels font face les pays du Sahel. Le développement du Sahel ne tient qu'à nous. Faisons-en une réalité.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Martavel. On October 11th, I launched a book, African Power Girls, which focuses on telling stories of great African women so that young girls in Africa can know that before they were born, women have always done great things. I believe that indeed a focus on women across our continent, particularly as women are the backbone of GenU Sahel, will make a great difference and accelerate our growth and development on the continent. Women have always gone above and beyond, but very importantly, women are much more community focused and ensure that the growth in wherever they find themselves is beyond just an individual or a family unit. And so I am now very excited to watch the interactive panel with young people, women and men, which will be led by Mr. Nii Ojuolape, the resident representative of UNFPA in Ghana, who will moderate this discussion. We hope that, Nii, you will also intervene in some of the programs that we can do in ensuring that women are constantly put on the fore. And I also encourage all stakeholders involved in today's event to ensure that they are placing the adequate amount and appropriate support on putting the woman forward. Over to you, Nii Ojuolape. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Adebola. At least you got my own name, you pronounced my own name very correctly, so thank you very much. Thank you, everybody. Greetings from Accra. And it's my great pleasure to join and moderate this discussion because it's going to be with young people, and I'm very personally passionate about young people. And we have an impressive group of young people that will be forming part of this panel today. I'm actually joined by 6 fantastic young people that we're going to be having a discussion about the role of young people in the Sahel and what is possible, what can be done. I have the first, let me just do a quick introduction. The first is Mr. Pascal Siakam. He's a Cameroonian professional basketball player for the Toronto Raptors of the National Basketball Association. Among others, he has been adjudged as the league's most improved player award in 2019. This is in addition to being named as the NBA All-Star for the first time as a starter in 2019 and 2020 season. You are going to find him very exciting. That is the first panelist that I have. The second is Ms. Rolake Roshiji. She's the CEO of Jobaman Nigeria. Before doing that, she joined MCOPA, which is an asset financing company that helps people get finance for their everyday essential needs. And then thereafter, she went on to become the country manager of that organization before joining Jobaman as the CEO. And she's the first woman to occupy that position, remarkably. My third panelist is Mr. Sobel Aziz Ngom. He's a young entrepreneur, and he's the founder and executive director of Social Change Factory. He also runs the youth TV program called Youth Voices, and he shares his experiences to African leaders about how they can involve youth in their community and also to develop their leadership. He was also a part of the Mandela Fellowship of Yali, which was an initiative by former President Barack Obama. And now the number 4 is Miss Sephora Marcel Kojo. She's the president of Cephis Foundation. She's also a researcher and she's a spokesperson. She is dedicated to promoting equality and building opportunities for other women across the world. She's also an alumnus of the Young African Leadership Initiative, that's YALI, which she did in 2015. Number 5 is Mr. Usman Toure. Mr. Usman Toure is the ambassador of the Pan-African Heritage Wall. He's a prominent youth leader who's focused on development, and he believes in Pan-Africanism. He completed his bachelor's degree in development studies at the University of the Gambia, and he also did something in Rwanda, based on which he was awarded a scholarship for a postgraduate program on public policies. And the last, but by no means the least, is Ms. Abdullahi Idani Kadiatu. Kadiatu is she has been in community life since college, and she's currently the general delegate of the Women's Affairs Commission at the Union of Nigerian Students at the University of Miami. So, gentle ladies and men, you will find out that we're going to have a very rich and dynamic discussion with young leaders. And they are going to, I believe they are going to do an amazing job in the field. And they are going to be changing the history of sports while also leading global efforts to bring young people to the decision-making table. So this is going to be a very, very interactive and free-flowing discussion. We're going to make it as free-flowing as possible. So I enjoy you. Please guide your loins. Stay tuned to hear different perspectives and to engage with the present and future leaders of the Sahel. I now want to, before we continue, because Pascal is unable to join us due to a change in his schedule with his team, that's the Toronto Raptors. So we're going to have a video from him. His video will kick off this discussion, and he's going to be sharing his inspirational journey and the importance of opportunity, importance of skills, and importance of determination that brought him to where he is. So we're going to have Pascal's video now playing. Thank you very much.
Hello everyone, my name is Pascal Siak, I'm from Cameroon, and it's a huge pleasure to be a part of Generation Unlimited Sahel's A Leap for Sahel youth event and Youth Africa Day. Growing up in Cameroon with little to no access to technology or digital literacy, it was impossible for me to see a world outside of the bubble I was living in. And then I had the opportunity to go to South Africa to Basketball Without Borders camp, where I saw a lot of NBA players and people I never thought I would see in my life before. From that day on, I started believing that the NBA was an achievable goal, and I worked hard to make it happen. I'm from Cameroon, so I know exactly all the challenges that we face in the region of the Sahel, and I know that we all just need an opportunity. That's why I created the PS43 Foundation, which was inspired by my late dad. And our mission is to empower the youth through education, financial literacy, and sports. We want to be able to give the youth an advantage in society. So my message to you today is to dream big, believe in yourself, work hard, and no matter what challenges you face, I'm telling you it's possible. And you can just look at me and my story and to know that anyone can achieve it. I believe in you. I know that you can do it. So go ahead, work hard, and take advantage of every opportunity that you get, because you are the future and you're gonna achieve big things. Thank you.
Excellent. Pascal, hopefully you're going to be watching this later, even if you're not watching it right now. So I want to thank you. Thank you for that very, very inspiring message. And if we have questions for you, we'll send it to you later, and we're hopeful that you'll be able to answer. And so we're going to start off this discussion by asking just the first round of questions, and then thereafter we'll have a break, and then we'll have another round of questions. And please, colleagues, friends, will you have just between 1 and 2 minutes to answer the questions because of the pressure of time. So if you don't mind, I'm going to start with you, Sobel. Sobel, I hope you are listening. You being a young entrepreneur, and you have your experiences to share with African leaders and all of that. But one thing that we have noticed is that there is a common theme among older people to the effect that maybe young people are not able to to carry out leadership, to participate and do what they need to do. Young people are not included; they are not at the table when decisions are taken, because I think there is that thing that says that they are not able to spearhead incredible initiatives. So, with your experience, can you tell us how would you respond to those who think young people should not be at the table when decisions are being taken because they are not mature enough?
Thank you very much, Neil. Yes, there is a situation that in numbers show us how young people are underrepresented in the Sahel. It's in public spaces, at the local, at the regional, or at national levels, and in position of decision making. So this is not proper to the Sahel. I think there is a challenge in the world, and some countries are taking it better than others to give more space to young people and to better consider the role that they can play instead of being only beneficiaries when it's topics regard to them. The way I decided to respond to that, one of those ways was using the media by creating a TV show that could transform the perceptions of the communities, of the leaders on young people by showing how they are taking care of issues at the community level in terms of food, in terms of education, in terms of entrepreneurship to find solutions to their own issues of their communities in a way to transform perceptions, because this is the main challenge. If you don't believe someone is able to do something, you don't trust to give him the opportunity to do it. So it was important to show and to say there is that ability from young people. Look at it, they are doing this, they changed it. And during COVID-19, showing how young people are really help countries to manage the crisis has been very, very concrete in my country and in other countries in the Sahel. So I think we get to a momentum where it's not only about having young people at the table, because I think the fact we are here at that table of Generation Unlimited is an example that the world take a step forward to have young people more in their table. I think the challenge now is to build new mechanisms that will make those young people sitting at those tables to be able to act and to do where they are good at. It's implementing.
Thank you very much. So, but I agree with you, and I believe that there is no way that we can continue this war without having young people at the table when power is being shared, when decisions are being taken. And having said that, I'm going to come to you, Sephora. Sephora, you are noted to have said that that in Africa, women are often not allowed to have a voice, and they are not allowed to exert influence. And you are noted to have said that a woman can be a good mother, a woman can be a good wife, and a woman can also be a great leader at the same time. And with that at the back of my mind, my question is that having been part of the Generation U Sahel launch and other partnership-led initiatives, what are some of the reflections that you have on how valuable the issue of intergenerational leadership and partnership can be? And if I may also add, what impact do you think it can wield on the field? Sephora, you have the floor.
Okay, thank you so much for the floor. Actually, since 2018, we launched a program to empower young women specifically in Côte d'Ivoire. So they are African from different countries, because we realized that if we would like to reinforce the participation of women, we need to have success stories, but we need also to change the mindset of women themselves. They need to understand the role and the participation they should play. So we designed a specific program to empower them, but based on personal development, soft skills, but also based on impact, because at the end of the day, they should be a role model. And I do believe that if we would like to change the narrative about women, we should show how women can be useful and the impact they can apply in specific areas. So actually we target private sector because we do believe that like women empowerment is based on economic, finance. You need to have a lot of young women who are powerful because they have money, but they are also part of the decision. So the women we select have between 18 and 35, and they are CEO of like small enterprises, and we connect them with mentor, like a role model person who can inspire them and coach them. At the end of the day, in their journey, they need to have a technical support. And now we have signed an agreement with an institutional bank with a value of $2 million to provide them loans and empower them economically, so that they can develop quickly the business, they can invest in the business, they can improve the packaging and all those things, the marketing, so that they will be powerful in the specific sector, in their sector, and then they will be part of the decision, because now they know that they are important, they make a real change. So
excellent.
Is the strategy, because we think that is not only the narrative, we need action, and action is also give opportunity to young women.
Thank you very, very much. Thank you very much. You're obviously doing a lot of fantastic work, and I'm certain that with young people like you, and particularly with young women like you, the Sahel will be something else in a couple of years if we're able to allow young people, like young women like you, to take control of what is happening there. Thank you very much for your work. I'm going to go straight again to Kadiatu. I'm going to go to Kadiatu. Please, colleagues, I will also urge us, let us as much as possible try to maximize the time that we have. Kadiatu, I know that you are very, very passionate about what happens to the young people, especially in the Sahel. You are quoted to have said at some point that you don't want to suffer the injustice of men, just like your mother did. And so, based on that, my question to you is that, based on your experience in the field, what do you think that young people of the Sahel, what do you think they need right now? What do you think should be done in the Sahel with young people? Kadiatu, you have 2 minutes. Hello, Kadiatu. Okay, if Kadiatu is not immediately available, let me quickly go to Usman. Usman, are you there? If you're there, I'm just going to be asking you that same question. What do you think the Sahelian youth needs right now?
Thank you so much for that wonderful question, and I'm also delighted to be joining you here today.
As well, we need to increase the volume of your equipment.
Yeah.
It's also important for us to know that we're about 12 minutes over.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you so much. Basically, what I'm trying to say is that today, when we look at the Sahel, what we see is youths that are desperate to have genuine skills that is able to transform them into something meaningful and something beneficial. And another thing is a mindset shift in what we do as young people in the Sahel. First, there must be an enabling environment that will make it possible for the agendas that we are discussing today, for the projects that we are discussing today to be meaningful for the young Africans out there. But again, investing in the mindset, investing in the education system is core for a sustainable Sahel, especially on the side of development. Most of us are disconnected from the policies that are adopted. Most of us are disconnected from our very economy. And we must equip the youths because they are the ones who should sustain the development, who should sustain the economy. So a wise investment today in the Sahel will be giving young people skills, giving them an enabling environment, but at the same time investing in education for the sustainability of such projects and such meaningful development.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Usman. Because of time, I'll quickly go back to Kadiatu if you are available. And my question is a very simple one. I'm going to be asking you, what do you think? What does social impact mean for the Sahelian youth? And if we're going to succeed in the Sahel, what do you really think, what is success going to look like concerning the social impact for Generation U in Sahel? Kadiatu, you have the floor.
Ok, d'accord. Merci.
Yeah.
Vous m'entendez? Ok. D'accord. Et sur l'impact, le résultat que l'intervention GenU pourra avoir au Sahel sera qu'un impact très, très positif parce que d'abord, l'initiative, disons que c'est vraiment un espoir pour la jeunesse du Sahel. Et déjà, à travers nos actions que nous avons initiées, disons qu'au Niger, on est déjà un peu en avance. Ça fait un bon moment où, à travers des initiatives, surtout avec U-Report, plus de 20 000 jeunes sont déjà engagés dans des actions d'engagement social, surtout, de plus de responsabilités. Et nous avons dans cette aventure-là l'accompagnement de nos aînés, des autorités, des partenaires que nous rencontrons sur le terrain, parce que nous sommes partis sur le terrain, au-delà, dans les communes et les départements, pour rencontrer que ce soit les autorités locales, que ce soit les autorités coutumières et les partenaires sur place, qui apprécient, qui saluent l'initiative justement de GenU à travers U-Report, qu'ils trouvent que c'est une initiative innovante, très promoteur et qui responsabilise la jeunesse, qui met les jeunes au cœur de l'action, qui font des jeunes des acteurs de changement. Parce que la jeunesse, nous avons le potentiel. Nous avons besoin qu'on puisse nous faire confiance pour que nous puissions changer les choses. Le Sahel, la grande majorité de la population, c'est les jeunes. Nous sommes vraiment une force pour le Sahel. Nous ne sommes pas que l'avenir. Nous le disons tout le temps, nous sommes aussi le présent. Donc, à travers GenU, disons que c'est vraiment un futur meilleur. C'est vraiment un futur où nous allons vivre dans un environnement, dans un espace que nous avons toujours rêvé, où tout le monde, où les jeunes ne sont pas que sur la table, mais aussi puissent décider, que les jeunes puissent s'exprimer et être entendus au plus haut niveau. Les engagements puissent vraiment être respectés par les partenaires que par les autorités. Et c'est seulement en mettant les jeunes au devant pour pouvoir faire le plaidoyer, pour mener les actions, que nous pourrons vraiment avoir le résultat escompté.
Merci beaucoup. Merci beaucoup, Kadiatu. Merci beaucoup pour la parole. I'll go straight, and this is very, the point that Kadiatu has made is very, very important. Maybe if we have time, we can look at it again later. But I'll quickly go to Rolake. Rolake, you are a chief executive, and so you are familiar with the issues of governance. My question is, maybe you want to tell us what is your vision for youth integration with governance and decision making, since this is what you do every day. Can you give us some advice in this regard?
Thank you very much, Mr. Ojolape. Pleasure to be here. So, thank you. So I'm the CEO of Jobberman Nigeria. Jobberman is the largest online recruitment service in Nigeria and all of sub-Saharan Africa. So we provide services to private companies who are looking to hire staff, and we help job seekers, particularly young people, to find jobs. So we're a private corporation. And to your question, what's my vision for the interaction between the private sector and governance? So although Jobberman is a private business, our core enterprise is making a service for companies to hire. We are also very much involved in foundation and government work regarding placing large numbers of people into jobs. So since last year, Jobberman has been working with MasterCard Foundation with a goal of placing 3 million Nigerians in jobs by 2025. And we're also very pleased to be working with Generation Unlimited as part of the vision to place 30 million Nigerians in jobs by 2030. And Jobberman has committed that we will use the Yoma online platform together with Jobberman's online platform to train 100,000 Nigerians next year, and also to place a larger number in jobs. So what is my vision? My vision is a world where private companies can focus on their core competence, but ensure that government provides the enabling environment for them to achieve their goals. We're really privileged as Jobberman to be working on such an important area because there's 33% unemployment in Nigeria. And my vision is that private companies like ours can focus on our core expertise, what we are good at, while the government continues to support in providing the enabling environment for us and for international organizations such as UNICEF and UNDP.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Rolake. This has been a very, very enlightening first part of this panel. And so we're now going to watch a video, a short video, and then we'll come back to the second part of the panel, hopefully to be a lot shorter then. Thank you very much. Please, let's have a video.
Depuis le début de l'année 2020, le Burkina Faso, à l'instar des autres nations du monde, résiste à la pandémie de la Covid-19 malgré les défis auxquels il est confronté. Le gouvernement, aidé par la société civile, a initié et continue de mener des actions de riposte à la pandémie. Cependant, des difficultés socio-économiques voient le jour ou s'intensifient à la faveur de la Covid-19.
Au tout début, nous avons eu des difficultés du moment où, d'abord, un premier temps, nous avons fermé les classes.
Quand Corona est venu, on n'a pas pu venir à l'école. On a resté à la maison.
Il faut rappeler que notre établissement a eu un cas de Covid avéré. Voilà, on était obligé de faire appel au district sanitaire pour qu'ils viennent avoir un entretien pour sensibiliser le personnel.
Après la réouverture des classes, il y a eu des leçons de sensibilisation. Voilà, que nous avons mené dans toutes les classes, voilà, pour parler de la maladie.
Initiée par l'African Youth and Adolescent Network on Population and Development (AFYAN), la caravane démarre de Ouagadougou, capitale du Burkina Faso, avec pour but d'informer, de sensibiliser et de distribuer des kits Covid-19 en vue de remobiliser et autonomiser les jeunes filles dans leur processus de retour à l'école.
Le réseau AFYAN Burkina est une plateforme d'organisation de jeunes œuvrant sur les différentes questions du développement, notamment les questions de santé. Disons que la caravane est pilotée par AFYAN. Nous avons des jeunes femmes déjà qui étaient dans le milieu scolaire, qui n'avaient plus l'occasion, au regard des difficultés financières de leurs parents et tout, d'avoir accès à l'éducation. Pour nous, l'une des solutions à apporter justement pour que les jeunes filles continuent à aller à l'école était naturellement de faire en sorte que ces jeunes filles disposent des moyens qui leur permettent d'avoir une hygiène acceptable. Une centaine de jeunes justement est plus ou moins mobilisée pour toute cette action, aussi bien au niveau central où nous avons 10 volontaires qui vont sur le terrain. Et nous avons également des relais locaux dans les différentes régions où nous sommes allés, qui justement prépare le terrain avec l'appui du ministère de l'Éducation nationale.
Ces kits sont remis des mains de jeunes donateurs issus du réseau Afriane, volontaires et présents pour marquer leur soutien à l'endroit des filles issues des milieux défavorisés, mais aussi pour leur insuffler du courage à travers leur propre expérience et leur parcours de vie.
Moi, je suis déjà étudiante en Master 2, gestion de projet. Mais depuis plus de 4 ans, je me suis engagée pour le développement communautaire. Donc, apporter quelque chose à ma communauté, pour moi, c'est un plus. Et chaque jeune doit s'engager pour cela.
Good young people!
That is a very, very inspiring one. That's a very, very inspiring one. Okay, Debola, I see your note. Yes, thank you very much. So that video is actually about Afrian, the fantastic work that Afrian is doing across the entire sub-region must be commended. I want to thank all the youth who put together that video. They took their time to produce the video. That was really, really inspiring. I'll just ask, we will not really have enough time to go through the questions again, but then I will be asking the questions briefly and be asking my panelists, please, you can just quickly make your closing statements. I'll start with Usman. And the question is straightforward, and that is to say that what are we not doing that we should be doing more of in the Sahel region? Is there any advice you want to give? What is it that we should be doing more of which we are not doing in the Sahel region? Usman, please.
Thank you so much. My advice to that will be, let us invest in research and contextualizing the policies, projects, and developments that we adopt. We have to invest in research. Getting data and information is the most difficult thing to have within the Sahel region. And we must have a reality of the ground and have context, have information that can inform genuine policies, and also have a data about the young people across the continent, and especially in the Sahel region. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Usman. That was very, very kind of you. Please, I'll just give 1 minute each to Sobel. I'm going to be asking you this question. Can you share some effective measures that you have deployed towards maximizing allies and partners to achieve your goals? What are the things that you have done that we can learn from? Sobel, please, you have the floor. Please, just for 1 minute, because we are actually short of time.
Merci. Je vais aller en français cette fois pour mes pairs de la région qui sont francophones. Je pense qu'un des grands défis de notre région et de nos pays aujourd'hui est de créer des alliances solides, des Generation Unlimited en état modèle. Le challenge va être, pour que les jeunes puissent être considérés aux tables et être acteurs dans leur propre transformation, il faudrait créer des alliances qui soient solides au niveau national, au niveau local, mais des alliances qui ne soient pas que basées sur de la représentation, des alliances qui soient basées sur les diversités sectorielles. Comme d'autres jeunes l'ont dit avant moi, il faut que les scientifiques arrivent à travailler ensemble pour mener des projets qui soient ambitieux, que ceux qui sont dans l'éducation, etc., etc. Et donc, ça va être le dernier canal. You give me a minute. Ceci sera le dernier canal. Et je pense que Generation Unlimited va lancer un appel à tous ces jeunes qui sont là aujourd'hui pour pouvoir s'engager à construire leurs bureaux locaux.
Okay, thank you very much. Merci beaucoup, Sobel. I'll go to Rolake, and very straightforward question. What is your vision for? So what I mean to ask is that if you're in a room full of decision makers, what are you going to challenge them to do? What is your call to action for a room of decision makers? Rolake, please.
Thank you, sir. My call to action is that right now in Nigeria, which has the youngest population in all of the Sahel region, with 100 million of the 200 million population being between the ages of 15 and 35. Youth unemployment is actually 1 in 3 people in Nigeria. My call to action would be, in order for us to ensure that young people have dignified livelihoods, we need to focus on areas where there are growth in employment. We already know that Nigeria has become a center for fintech investments across the continent, and digital and technology, as well as renewable energy, agriculture, and the creative sectors are areas which have had significant growth and where it is expected to continue to have significant growth. How can we make sure the young people are prepared for jobs in these sectors? Let's focus the education and focus the vocational skills training.
Thank you so much, Raka. I know that you actually have a lot right there to say, but thank you very much. That is well taken. To Sephora. Sephora, what do you think gender empowerment and equity will enable us to achieve, or that will enable us to do better if we focus more on gender empowerment and equity? Sephora. If we empower women the more, what will they be able to do? What will it help us to do? And if Sephora is not ready, I can quickly go to Kadiatu.
Can you hear me?
Okay, Sephora, please go ahead. Go ahead, please. Sephora, yes.
I will do like my brother, Sobel, donc je vais aller en français. Et j'aimerais dire qu'il faudrait aussi, peut-être pour que les choses fonctionnent mieux, il faudrait se focaliser, donc la sœur le disait tout à l'heure, sur les secteurs et les métiers, mais aussi sur la participation des femmes dans les STEM, les sciences, technologies, énergie et mathématiques, parce qu'il y a énormément d'opportunités en termes d'emploi dans ces secteurs-là, dans le cas de l'énergie, de l'agriculture, des métiers techniques, même dans les bâtiments et travaux publics. On le voit ici de plus en plus, la main-d'œuvre est demandée, mais il n'y a pas suffisamment de femmes qui sont qualifiées. Et aussi l'accès aux ressources, l'accès au financement. Et en dernier point, j'aimerais rebondir sur ce que notre frère du Sénégal disait, les alliances sont très importantes. Et d'ailleurs, en Côte d'Ivoire, nous nous sommes aussi organisés en regardant le modèle de GenU au Sénégal.
Merci.
Notre propre organisation avec des jeunes leaders de la société civile pour renforcer notre impact.
Merci beaucoup, Sephora. And the last question to Kadiatu. Simple, straightforward question is that if you meet with the president, what will you ask for concerning the Sahel and concerning young people? Kadiatu, if you meet with the president of Niger, what will be your ask?
Ok, merci. Personnellement,
just 1 minute, please. Yeah.
La question de savoir, avec le discours qu'il a eu à faire envers la jeunesse du Niger, quelles sont les actions concrètes qu'il prétend ou qu'il entend poser à travers les politiques pour pouvoir responsabiliser les jeunes, pour pouvoir mettre les jeunes au devant de toutes les questions qui les concernent. Et surtout, la question que j'aimerais lui poser, c'est quelle place il réserve à la femme, à la jeune fille, dans les prises de décision.
Merci beaucoup, merci beaucoup. Now, I want to thank you very much. I want to thank every one of us who have participated in this panel. You have made very, very thought-provoking contributions, and we know that the issues, the solutions, and everything that you have provided actually represents all of African young people. I want to thank you very, very much for making this happen. Debola, please, over to you. Thank you all very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you to all the panelists. It was indeed an insightful discussion. It is now my pleasure to introduce the following impressive speakers and supporters of GenU Sahel. Miss Alison Felix, track and field gold medalist, to provide us with her inspiring words. His Excellency Dr. Tariq Al-Gerg, CEO and Vice Chairman of Dubai Cares, with his message of support and remarks on the importance of connectivity as a pathway to accessing digital opportunities for world-class skilling. And finally, Alan Hope, CEO of Unilever, to share his thoughts and highlight the importance of youth action and volunteerism for climate change in the Sahel. Over to you all.
Hi, I'm Alison Felix, and I'm so excited to talk with you guys today. I'm an Olympic sprinter, a runner, and I've been to the past 5 Olympic Games, but I haven't been able to get to those heights without overcoming a lot of adversity. I was told no, I wasn't believed in. I dealt with injuries. I dealt with having a daughter and coming back to compete. Persistence has been huge for me, and determination. There are so many moments where I felt the weight of the world on me. And we're all going to experience that. You know, it's going to look different in each one of our lives, but there's no doubt that we're going to come to that place where we have to figure out, do we want to keep doing this? How do we overcome? How do we push forward? And how do we not give up? I'm living proof that you can get to the other side of that. This year, everything really came full circle, and I was able to see what happens when you use your voice and you stand up for what's right and you take pride in doing things the right way. Take ownership of what you're going through and to speak up and to have a lot of pride with the way that you do things. I started a company when I didn't have shoes to wear in the Olympics. And instead of asking for change, I decided to be that change and to create change. And it was really scary and it was really hard, but I found a way. And I encourage you guys to do the same thing. I really also challenge you to speak up when there is something happening that is not right. Fight for others. Fight on behalf of one another. You really can have an impact on the world and can change it. You know, it's not just something we say, you actually can do that. Well, I want to challenge you guys all to join UNICEF. Generation Unlimited and the Office of the United Nations Special Coordinator for the Sahel as they launched GenU Sahel on November 1st. And it was really a pleasure and honor to speak with you.
Hello, everyone, and it's good to be engaging on a topic which is very close to my heart. Our gathering today for the launch of Generation Unlimited Sahel marks an extremely pivotal moment for the entire African continent and the future of its dynamic youth population. There is no doubt that Sahel remains one of the most neglected and conflict-ridden regions in the world. However, today is not just about presenting the challenges, but it is also about creating hope and highlighting the opportunities that this initiative will generate for the millions of young people from this region, a region that is set to become one of the main youth power hubs in Africa. This can only be achieved when we, as a community, can ensure that we are adequately investing in the potential of young people, harnessing their talents and helping them realize their dreams and aspirations. And as a member of both GenU's Global Board and the Global Leadership Council, the core of our work and efforts for the past 18 months has been around working together to push forward and mobilize strategies and solutions that would mitigate the ongoing impacts of COVID-19 on Sahelian youth, especially young girls and those worst affected by the pandemic. In so many ways, it is a shining example of meaningful and dynamic partnerships between the public sector, the private sector, and civil society. And it is quite promising to see that youth are being integrated at the core of this partnership and are being encouraged to become part of the broader solution to promote growth within the region. GenU Sahel will open new avenues and enhance existing youth initiatives in the areas of connectivity, skilling, entrepreneurship, and social impact. And we at Dubai Cares, we have also been very concerned about the growing digital divide and fragmentation that has been amplified further by the pandemic, and led us to work more closely with some of our strategic partners, namely UNESCO and UNICEF, to initiate and drive the Rewired Declaration on Connectivity for Education. This declaration, which is also very closely integrated into the main priorities of GenU, is set to be launched on the 14th of December during the 3-day Rewired Summit at Expo 2020 Dubai. This one-of-a-kind gathering with global leaders, influencers, decision makers, and stakeholders will serve as a key moment in amplifying the need for a massive shift in our overall strategy for preparing young people from regions such as Sahel and others for the challenges that await them in the future. Let us all never forget that the youth of today are the leaders of tomorrow. If we do not invest in their development today, we are jeopardizing the future of our economies forever. We cannot afford to let that happen, of course. Therefore, we must act now, and we must act together.
Le Sahel de mes rêves, c'est un Sahel dans lequel la prospérité et le bonheur ne sont plus des vains mots ni une utopie, et où les arbres se sont tués à jamais.
C'est de voir des jeunes et des femmes qui participent au développement inclusif de leur communauté à travers l'entrepreneuriat, l'innovation, la mise en œuvre de solutions de lutte contre le changement climatique.
Young people are our future, but globally an estimated 22% of young people are not in any kind of employment, education, or training at all. And the COVID-19 pandemic has made matters worse. The social divide has widened, and those not benefiting from education, employment, or training are the most vulnerable. Unilever, along with many in the private sector, recognize the need to help young people to transition into the workforce. Decisive and collective action is needed to build a society that helps to improve livelihoods, to embrace diversity, and to nurture talent, to offer opportunities for everyone. Unilever is committed to a more equitable and inclusive society. We recognize that changes to the world of work are affecting the employment prospects for many young people. So, by 2030, we'll help equip 10 million young people with essential skills to prepare them for job opportunities. And this is where Generation Unlimited comes in. We're very excited by this partnership. Our goal is to prepare young people for future job opportunities by helping them to discover their purpose and by providing access to skills training, volunteering, and work experiences. And I do emphasize purpose. We want to tap into young people's superpower of purposeful action. We'll find out what drives young people and we'll match it with skills, providing training programs while giving young people the opportunity to volunteer on causes that are important to them. This is how we can move the dial from generation anxious to generation action. To achieve our goal, young people need to be at the front and center. We need to create opportunities that young people think are important. And with Generation Unlimited, we're better placed to empower the greatest generation yet to come. We're proud to support GenU's launch in the Sahel. Thank you.
Thank you for your support. It is indeed most inspiring. Thank you, Ms. Felix, Your Excellency, Dr. Alberg, and Mr. Yo. Okay, over to you.
Thank you. I would now like to invite Mr. Kevin Fry, CEO of Generation Unlimited, to give his closing remarks.
Privilege to be here today and to say thank you. Thank you to all of the organizations, to the speakers, to the leaders who've come together today, Africa Youth Day, to stand in solidarity with the young people of the Sahel and to commit to building the Sahel with them. As we heard again and again from speaker after speaker, Generation Unlimited is about partnership. We can only achieve our goals if the public sector comes together with the private sector, with multilaterals, and with youth in public-private youth partnerships to unlock the unlimited potential of young people in the Sahel. Collectively, we have audacious ambition. We want to reach tens of millions of young people in the Sahel and connect them with opportunities to contribute to peace, to security, and to economic growth. I would encourage everyone to have the courage to let some of the amazing youth that we heard today lead us forward to a brighter future. I'd like to start by saying thank you to Mar, because Mar, we're here today because of your vision, a vision to unite partners around youth in the Sahel. I'd also like to say thank you to our esteemed excellencies, heads of state and government partners for continuing to prioritize youth in the Sahel. To our UN colleagues, the Deputy Secretary General, UNFPA, ILO, UNDP, UNICEF, and the Secretary General's Envoy for Youth. Thank you to some of our incredible partners who have been here today. The African Union, Dubai Cares, Unilever, the Tony Elumelu Foundation. If we can all come together, we can drive change. To our sports stars, Alison Felix, Sadio Mane, Pascal Siakam, thank you for lending your celebrity, your voice, your platform to stand with young people in the Sahel. Thank you to our brilliant hosts, Oge Adebola, as always, an absolutely inspirational and brilliant job. And to the young people of the Sahel, the raison d'etre, why we are all here, thank you for inspiring us that there is a brighter future ahead for the Sahel. I believe working in partnership with young people, we can bend the arc of the future. We can change the trajectory of the Sahel.
Yeah.
So thank you all. I look forward in the coming months, in the coming years, to working together in partnership to unlock an unlimited potential for young people in the Sahel.
Thank you very much, Mr. Frey. I would now like to invite Mr. Abdoulaye Mardie, Under-Secretary General, Special Coordinator for Development in the Sahel, to give his closing remarks and highlight the UN support for GenU in the Sahel.
Thank you, Tamara. Thank you, Ade. Thank you, Kevin. This can't be a closing remark. We cannot close a journey. And I really would like to pledge to our 400 plus young people who are connected to these conversations that this is just chapter 1 of a very long journey. And my pledge to you is that you will be our trip captain in that journey. We will follow. But if you would allow me, listening to the conversations, my own fibers as a young Sahelian just was stricken and inspired me to read a poem for you. Let me read my poem as a closing remark. It is called Jigia. Jigia in Bamana, in Bambara, or in Jula means hope. And we have been always, during all this morning, discussing about hope. So I want to tell you what hope would be declined as a poem in the Sahel. I will not beat Ashaka poem, but I will try to do my best. It reads like following. Run and fly like Alison Felix, strike and score like Sadio Mane. We are Sahel Generation Unlimited. Like our glorious ancestor Kanka Musa, we are unbound and we are beyond limits. We invented the Mandan Charter even before the Magna Carta. A daughter of a lion will always strike like a lioness. A son of a tiger will always fly like a tiger. Tigers we are, conquerors we will remain. Sahel is a land of opportunities. We will make them flourish and we will conquer. As we will run and fly like Alison Felix, and we will strike and score like Sadio Mane. So see you all for the next chapter of Sahel Generation Unlimited. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Under-Secretary General. We have now reached the end of our agenda. I've really enjoyed co-hosting alongside Adevola, and I hope you've all been inspired as I am for the future of the youth in the Sahel region. To stay up to date with our progress, you can follow hashtag GenU Sahel and hashtag Sahel Youth League. Thank you very much.
Thank you. 19 report says that the Sahel region is experiencing a phase of population growth, unprecedented in any part of the world. And over the next 20 years, a very short period, the population of the G5 countries, Burkina Faso, Chad, Mali, Mauritania, and Niger could double, which would mean an increase in isolation. Now, this could be a burden and could be a blessing because this growth will surely be young people, energetic, innovative, creative, no barriers, fearless, relentless, tenacious. And we need to, like I said at the beginning of the conversation, to come together, to work to make this generation truly unlimited by providing it with all the resources and support institutionally, as we said, all through this program, from Tony Elumelu Foundation to the DSG's office to Unilever and all our stakeholders. We need you to come together to help this generation be all that it can be, that it has not yet become. So the hard work starts from now to together achieve the SDGs. And now I challenge all of you that beyond the commitments you've made on video today, it is time for the hard work. I'd like to bring this session to an end today. And remember that the tools of the time are different. We must all take everything we've heard young people say today into action. Our ways are different. I'm a young person as well. Music, fashion, arts, films, entertainment are the way we communicate now. Technology is how we communicate now. Metaverse is how we will communicate soon. Data-driven evidence shows this. So please, I challenge us all to hold each other accountable to the commitments we have made today, to each other, and more importantly, to the Sahelian youth. I thank you all for your participation, and I welcome you to a journey to a truly unlimited Sahelian generation. Thank you.
Alors, pour cette deuxième chanson, je vais vous proposer une chanson qui s'appelle Nangona. Nangona veut dire j'accepte. J'accepte de rester à tes côtés, j'accepte de mourir à tes côtés. Et cette chanson parle de la terre, de la rivière. Et je peux donner ensuite.
Bravo, bravo, sì.
Merci.